Alright, hey, what's up everyone? This is Chaos Christ. This is the first video that I've ever done. Just gotta bug up my ass to do it. And this is my thoughts on the Mass Effect 3 ending and the series in general. And a few other thoughts probably. Alright, so the Mass Effect 3 ending... Well, before I go into that, let me go into my thoughts on the entire series as a whole. Mass Effect, for me, was a series that I had trouble getting into. Most people really seem to like it. People recommend it to me all the time. A few years ago, I tried playing Mass Effect 1, and it bored the shit out of me. I thought to myself, well, this seems like a shitty, watered-down version of KOTOR, so what the fuck, I might as well just be playing KOTOR. Well, a couple years went by, and the market was still completely stale without any RPGs that, in my opinion, told any decent form of a story whatsoever. Being of a JRPG mindset that I am, I prefer story, love Final Fantasy, things like that. And that's the state of Final Fantasy and Square Enix is a different rant entirely. But I'll save that for another video. So I gave Mass Effect 1 another shot. And it frustrated the hell out of me. Yeah, there's good elements to it, but it had a lot of things that I really could nitpick, such as the fact that you can't skip scenes, and that resulted in one very annoying part of the game when you're trying to go up in the elevator right after saving Liara and having to fight the Krogan, where I kept dying over and over and having to watch that scene every time. It got very frustrating, and I was very frustrated with this game, but I was told by a friend of mine that Mass Effect 2 was a really good game, so I figured I really should play the first one so I know what's going on when I play the second. So I beat the first one, and I didn't do all that much of the side shit. I was like, meh, not all that impressed. The controls were horrible. I was playing the PC version. I hate using the mouse, so I had it running through hexpatter, and it was frustrating as all hell. The controls were extremely clunky, and so yeah. So then I played Mass Effect 2. I like this one a lot better. More interesting characters. By the time I had played it, most of the DLC, including the Arrival, was already out for it, so I had got tons and tons of gameplay time out of that game. I did everything, every single mission, all the things with the little flying vehicle thing, did everything. So, yeah, I got pretty into that game. And by the way, I've always I play these games. I've always played these games Renegade, but not complete asshole Renegade. I didn't kill the Rachni. There's a lot of just things like that. Like, I tried not to be too much of an asshole, but Mass Effect 2 was a good game. It was such a big improvement over the first one. Like, it was amazing how much better it was. They took out the clunky inventory management, they improved combat, they improved control, they improved the aiming, they improved the powers, they improved everything. Party members. So of course, considering how much better Mass Effect 2 was than Mass Effect 1, my expectations for the third game were fairly high. So I get the third game, and I'm playing it, and it's a good game. It is very, very much a good game. Combat is improved. Powers are improved. Again, generally it was very fun. It felt so short to me, but I'm unsure as to whether or not that was because I had played Mass Effect 2 with all the DLC and done all of the DLC, so this was a fresh game with only just having From Ashes DLC on it. Use the same character through every playthrough, through every game, from the first one to this one. And, so, you know, I became attached to my Commander Shepard, the bald badass that he is. And, he became a force to be reckoned with. So, basically the whole game gives you choices. It allows you to do what basically you want. You feel fit, bad, good, however you see the action. Whatever. Form bonds with all these characters. So that's just something that it's known for. That's was the series' big appeal, was that, you know, you have the power of choice. As a player, you can do whatever you want, you know. Galaxy is your playground. Okay. So, I'm going off on a rant here. Back to the ending of Mass Effect 3, or shall I say, the ending of Mass Effect. The ending of the whole series. Because wasn't the other games, every game until this one was just a cliffhanger as to what's going to happen. What's the mysterious purpose behind these Reapers that are coming in from the blackness of space we know absolutely nothing about? We find out just a tiny little more at the end of each game. Okay. In typical RPG fashion, we fight an epic boss battle at the end of the first game. We fight Saren, who is the enemy throughout that game. Okay, cool. Second game, fight a human Reaper. Looks like a giant Terminator. Thought that was a little bit of cheap, lazy design, but whatever. Still a cool battle, boss battle, satisfying. Mass Effect 3. You launch some missiles. Sure, the fight beforehand took me quite a few tries. Those Banshees I fucking hate. But it certainly was no boss battle. There was no boss battle. I've watched a lot of videos and people's opinions on the ending, and none of them have mentioned the lack of a boss battle. This is atrocious. How could they not give us a proper boss battle? They didn't even give us a half-ass boss battle. No chance to fight the elusive man or Harbinger or anything like that. I mean, yeah, I guess you technically do take a Reaper down, but in the game, but it's with these extensive guided missiles, and it's way earlier in the game when you're in the middle of the Geth Turian conflict. By the way, those Turians are frickin' idiots. They had that shit coming. That's at least how my Commander Shepard saw it. So, no boss battle. Very disappointing with that. There's several theories that I've heard that it's indoctrination, it's a dream, the ending. Well, yeah, I think those theories are fairly sound. Everything is dreamy after you get hit by that laser blast right when you're about to make it to the teleporter. I assumed it was a dream sequence immediately, as it was slow motion like the dream sequences, you know, all this shit. So shit gets weirder once you get up there. Anderson's just this disembodied voice. You seem like, from the comm chatter, you're falling right behind behind him, according to the landmarks he's describing, but if that were the case, you would see him, but no, he's right in the room at the end of the hall at the control panel. So then the elusive man comes out and gives his whole hubbub about controlling the Reapers and blah blah blah, and you give your whole thing about how he's just an indoctrinated fuck. Well, the elusive man decides he wants to be a little bitch, so I just had to shoot him, just like everybody else who gives me the option of renegade action. Shoot them in the fucking head. That was always fun. That's the last choice you get to make in this game. Well, not really. It's the second to last. So then after that, Shepard has a nice little moment with Anderson, which, again, if this is a dream, really means nothing. Or an indoctrination attempt, which is, I guess, similar to a dream. Which leads me to wonder if these dream sequences throughout this game had been just the early signs of Shepard's slow indoctrination process. Well, throughout this sequence, there's black borders all around the screen, and I just felt like I was trying to be indoctrinated. That's what those borders seemed to signify to me. Like, it seemed like I was in a dark place and like I was fighting it. The indoctrination, that's what the atmosphere of that scene seemed like they were trying to portray. So, Shepard is crawling his way to the control panel, barely able to move, dying. As, you know, that one dude, I can't remember his name, the commander, is saying that, you know, it's not working. So, he's trying to make it to the panel and he falls short. Passes out. Or dies. Who knows? This could not even be happening, actually. It's probably just a dream or an indoctrination attempt. Okay, so, he goes up, meets this kid, hologram, that looks just like the kid that died in the first part of the game that he's had continuing dreams about throughout this game. And he basically tells you that you're Chaos and the Reapers are there to control the Chaos. They stem the tide of the Chaos. And now, I don't know how pissed off people are about this particular thing, but to be quite honest with everyone, I pretty much saw that part coming. I mean, it was pretty damn obvious that was going to be why the Reapers were doing what they were doing. I mean, they would have had to gotten creative. I didn't expect that level of creativity, honestly. Just the way the video game industry. Mass Effect's a good series. But it isn't a great one. It could have been, but it wasn't. And, so you get the option to control the Reapers or destroy them. It presents the destroy them as the renegade option, or, you know, seemingly, and the controlling them as the good option, because it's the color-coded and etc. Of course, me being renegade, I picked to control the Reapers. Now, I know this was presented as the Paragon action, but it still seemed to me like the renegade choice. So that's the ending I got. I got the ending where it went to black before anyone stepped outside of the crashed ship. I didn't get the ending with Shepard taking a breath, although I did see those things, at least the breath one. And that breath one even further indicates the reasons people explain in various videos. The rubble is that of Earth, or an Earth-like planet, seemingly. Not the Citadel. His body would never have survived re-entry into the Citadel. So, it must be that all that shit was just a fucking dream or an indoctrination attempt. Now, I don't know. I guess my indoctrination attempt was successful because I chose to control the Reapers. I don't really know. That really just depends on whether or not you believe that that was a dream sequence or an indoctrination attempt, which there are things that very much indicate that as being the case. So, okay, yeah, this was a very short ending. There was almost no closure with any characters. No closure with the love interest, which really irritated me, because I kind of liked how, you know, my Commander Shepard was bald and evil. Well, not evil, but renegade, and so he hooked up with Jack, you know, it was like bald love. Yeah, I know, I'm a little weird, but point being that the love interest was never followed up on in the ending. Nothing was ever followed up on in the ending. Okay, well, that's alright. Well, no, it's not alright, but it is what it is. So after the credits roll, and I am again disappointed in the credits in this game, like Mass Effect 2, do not have an epic song at the end like in Mass Effect 1, which that song at the end of the credits of Mass Effect 1 was certainly the best part of that game. So you get the ending with the old man telling the story of Commander Shepard to his little grandson. Very obviously not Earth planet. Very beautiful scene. And I thought that was a really nice scene, actually. Very reminiscent of old school RPGs, like, you know, fantasy type scenery. And just, I don't know, the whole thing just seemed that way to me, and I honestly liked that part. So overall, Mass Effect 3's ending was... depends on really how you look at it. I mean, did you really want he does everything perfectly, saves the galaxy ending? Or did you want something with a little make you think and wonder? Does this ending do that for you? Or doesn't it? Personally, I wonder if any DLC they release will be, you know, have their true creative vision behind it, because it'll be, you know, altered by the fans' obvious horrible reaction to the ending. And even if they do release it and it's good, well, it's just fucked up. There should be no further ending DLC. That's just retarded. There should, I mean, you know, and if there is, it better damn well be free, because you shouldn't have to pay for the ending of the game. That's just bullshit. Especially when this third game is the ending to the trilogy of 3 games we've been playing to find out what the fuck is going to happen with all this shit. But, all in all, I didn't think the ending was as bad as people have said. Like, I didn't read any spoilers or anything like that. But, you know, I had just heard general buzz about how the ending was horrible. Even my friend from work, Cody, who's mentioned to me that he was very dissatisfied with it, and this is a guy who played Mass Effect 2, like, so many times. He probably put like 200 hours into that game, and he was telling me the other day he was on his 3rd playthrough on Mass Effect 3. This guy loves Mass Effect, and he was disappointed in the ending. So, folks, I guess just leave me your comments or whatever, what you think about it. You know, I really don't know what else to say about it. I think that Mass Effect was a good series. It was the only RPG series that kind of piqued my interest in the past generation. Since PS2. So yeah, still waiting for that next RPG series that'll really blow me away, but I often wonder if that'll ever happen. But I'm not going to go into that. That's a different rant altogether. Alright, folks, signing off.